Hey guys, welcome to Star Wars 1138. I am your host, Carlos. I am here with
Reese,
Dominic,
Chris,
Ben, Mike.
And Mike. I want to give a warm welcome to Benjamin for joining us today. Ben is my boy, Mike now from 3rd grade, and me and Ben grew up with Star Wars when we were children. We're going to be reviewing not one, but 2 Mandalorian episodes. We just watched episode 2 tonight as a group.
Yeah, we did.
Blew our minds, fantastic. We're going to go through and we're going to talk about both episodes. So really quick, what we like to do before we get into it is let's just everybody a couple of sentences about what you think so far of the Mandalorian TV show on Disney+. Reese, what do you got?
I think it's fantastic. I like where it's going. I like how it started. Visually, everything, yeah, I have no complaints.
Good.
Dom?
I have very little complaints. I like the dirtiness, the dirty gritty Star Wars from the original trilogy that it brought. I like the characters. I like everything.
Chris?
I'm really happy with it so far. I think there's a lot of exciting things. Like you said, Dominic, the grittiness. I love that feel. I'm not too sure how I feel about the little green guy, but I think I'm warming up to the idea.
I think it's stupendous. I think it's fantastic. I think it is amazing what they're doing, what Jon Favreau created. I think they're knocking this out of the park. It looks, smells, and tastes like Star Wars to me. Ben?
I thought it's great. I'm so excited to keep watching it. The one thing I like about it the most is that it's giving me that giddy feeling that Star Wars gave me, like Carlos said, when we were younger. And I love the way that Disney Plus is doing it, rather than the Netflix where you binge it, because it's going to give me anticipation and eagerness to watch the next week's show on Friday. So it's not 3 years; it's only a week. But hey,
Michael?
So out of everybody in the group, I was probably the most hesitant for this. Seeing something that's brand new on a pad or a phone or TV rather than theater. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're all in agreement. Yeah. So, and I think a lot of you guys out there, I watch YouTube stuff every night, and I think more often than not, it's overwhelmingly positive response for The Mandalorian, which is, I think, is a great thing for Star Wars land, because I'm tired of all the bickering and crying and fighting and at this very own table. But it's a good thing that we're all happy and we're all agreeing on it while we get ready for episode 9. So as we go around again, guys, or we can leave it open for whatever. Before we get into episode 2, which I thought was amazing, because along with Chris is still on the fence with, we're just going to say Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
For and for
wee Baby Yoda.
Right, and I will put spoilers in the title, so people are watching this. We will be talking about any and all spoilers. But for lack of a better word, let's just call him Baby Yoda. I was on the fence with him after the first episode. Because at first, again, when I watched the first episode, everything was who, what, when about the Mandalorian. And once I saw Baby Yoda reveal, it was who, what, when, why about the Baby Yoda. So I was a little worried that it was going to turn into a lone wolf and cub kind of thing. 3-minute little baby, we got to get baby here to there. I was a little worried because I was like, I wanted to be about the Mandalorian. But the second episode, and we'll get to the second episode later, I'm a true believer. I think Favreau and them know exactly what they're doing, because it is a great arm extension, and it's just getting even wider and wider. This little pebble just hit the water, right? And it's just going in different directions, and I love it. So going back to episode 1, so what did you like the most about episode 1? Or
One of my favorite scenes was the fight scene with him in IG-11. That was my favorite part. Seeing the way IG-11 moved and was shooting and taking hits and getting back up, and the banter between him and the Mandalorian for self-destructing all the time.
That was so fun.
Oh, I love that. That was so good. So that was probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
I love that.
yeah, Dom, favorite parts?
I'm with Reese. When I saw IG-11 come in and he's like, the droid, and just the way he was spinning and moving, and his head was spinning in different directions. Like his head was going in like 3 different ways while his body's spinning, and it was just like, if we would have saw that in Empire or another Star Wars movie, I mean, it was awesome.
Chris, what do you got? What was your favorite part about the first episode?
My favorite thing is I'm a Stormtrooper junkie, and my favorite was the Stormtrooper scene. It's not the Stormtrooper scene. It's the scene where the Mandalorian goes in and gets his assignment. And the neat thing, because you're like, well, are these ex-Stormtroopers that have nowhere to go and they're just hired guns now? Or Are they just guys that are wearing stormtrooper armor because it's available because the Empire's fallen and
Hey, look what I found.
I found some stormtrooper armor on eBay or whatever. So it's I think it's kind of a cool thing. It's something I really liked.
Sure. For me, and there's the one shot just before the Mandalorian comes out and IG-88 or IG-11's back is to us, and he looks like an action figure. Both guns are to his side, and he's just standing there, and I'm like, my childhood is like, OMG for that. Now, I will say a quick, well, no, I'll go to the dislikes later. That was my favorite part of the first episode. Ben, what was yours?
I think the whole thing in general, because everything was new, every moment was new. It was like, oh, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? This isn't Luke, this isn't Leia, this isn't what we're used to. It was just amazing. I love the IG-88, but the one thing going into it, I was like, are they gonna show other Mandalorians? And when he walked in there, and those other Mandalorians were in there, and then he went to their armor, I was like, holy cow! It was just like,
How he
ear to ear grin. So
Yes, getting his armor plate and that Beskar steel and stuff. Just genius.
And it goes by so quick. I mean, the episode was like boom, 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 boom. It was like done. It's like, oh, I want more.
But when we talk about dislikes, I'm definitely gonna go after the running time on these.
Yeah.
Favorite of episode 1, Mike?
Well, everybody's touched on a lot of those of mine. I'll bring up the one where the bounty, the prisoner, just walks away and he's flying. He's going throughout the whole ship, and I like when he came across all the carbonite, frozen, and there was Greedo. You know what I mean? That was really cool. And then when he found him, how he just threw him in there. And Ben and I were talking about this, how he just like hit a button and boom, he was just in carbonite. It's only been, what do you say, 5, maybe 10 years after
5 years after Jedi.
And it was so complicated in that movie. They had to test it and make sure it could work.
Now, what didn't you like if you had to pick something?
If I had to, and this is splitting hairs, seeing so many familiar faces on one planet, if that makes sense. Like it's almost like a clone of Tatooine put on another world. Like all the it's like
the creatures, the alien creatures.
The alien creatures, we've seen some of them in the skiff scenes and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I like that.
No, I liked it. If I had to pick
Reusing
something, it's like
sure.
there's too much reuse, which I
Like
love.
Grindians, all of a sudden, like the Uber guy.
Like the skiff guard guys were there. It was like, oh, it was cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, recycling. But at the same time, I loved it. So
Sure.
But there were new creatures too, which was pretty.
Yeah.
there were some new ones, in the cantina area. Yeah, I really don't have anything to complain.
Done?
Like I said before, the only thing was the music, just a little bit. I will say it does sound a lot better on your sound system than it did on mine. So maybe my sound system just
I
sucks.
spare no expense, but
Which could be, but it was kind of like a boxing kind of.
it's like it's a fanfare. It's a Bill Conte fanfare.
Yeah, and we're used to that Star Wars soap opera, big loud.
Space Western.
Yeah,
Space opera.
and I don't know, maybe that's what I'm just used to with Star Wars, or and then this just throws it off. And
Sure.
it's throwing me off, but that visually and the storyline,
Yeah.
love it. So
Chris?
I think it's a very fun story. The only thing I'm kind of like about, and I mentioned it earlier, is the little wee baby Yoda. I like mystery, and Yoda was always a mystery.
Yes.
And he still is, yes, but it feels like they're going to reveal more about. And I like Yoda being the only one of his kind, although there was Yaddle in episode 1. I realize that, but so that's kind of I don't hate it, but I'm just cautious with it. I still like it though. It's the one thing.
yeah.
Ben?
For me, really just the music. It was just, some scenes was just a bit jarring. Kind of took me out of it a little bit. Other than that, I didn't mind anything. I didn't mind the piranha dudes. I didn't mind the fact that they had to ride him to the place. I thought it was more of the old dude was trying to be his mentor and teach him how to get to the next level. And he had walked there, and so apparently maybe he helped all these other people, and although they died, maybe that's why those people were over there in that little area, because there really was only a way to get there. Who knows?
Yeah.
True.
That's good.
I'd buy that for $1.
I like the mentor. I like that.
Yeah,
I do like that it was a mentoring thing. It was a partnership. It wasn't like here's a sidekick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Kind of a thing. So, Michael.
So I mean, the one scene that really just I was like, wow, was when he just capped IG 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like I really was hoping they would somehow partner up through a couple episodes.
I think he's back. He's
Well, I hope.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
overall, thumbs up, huge on episode 1.
Yeah.